করি হরি ভাজে যদি তবে অন্ত হই ক্লেশ এ ঘোর সংসারে পড়িয়া মানা না পায় দুঃখের শেষ বিষয় আনালে ঢালিছে হৃদয় আনালে ভরে আনা অপরাধ চারি লই কৃষ্ণ না আনালে পরয়ে এ ঘোর সংসারে পড়িয়া মানা না পায় দুঃখের শেষ নিতাই চৈতন্য চরণ কামালে আশ্রয় লইল যে কলিদাস বলে জীবনে মারণে আমার আশয় আছে ঘোর সংসারে পড়িয়া মানা না পায় দুঃখের
Fallen into this material world of birth and death, there is no end to a person's unhappiness. Still, if they associate with devotees and worship Lord Hari, then all their sadness and suffering will come to an end.
The heart burns in the fire of sense gratification, and the fire burns more and more. Avoiding offenses, chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna, for that will pour water on the fire.
Kalidas says, anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda is my shelter in life and death.
So beautiful. Okay, so now it's got some late.
Did you know something about the devotee who wrote this song, Kalidas?
No, I don't, no. No. I heard some theory that it's like a pen name of Srila Bhakti Yoga Thakur, but I'm not so sure. But I've heard that some devotees say that he's like, he's saying Kalidas, like a humble. But I don't know. I heard that idea.
It looks very similar to his writing.
The mood, yes, absolutely, yeah. It's possible, maybe it is, but I don't want to speculate.
Is there a central library somewhere of all of the different writings and the songs and the Sanskrit poems in our tradition that you can access and use as a sort of research facility to kind of get a context and everything?
That would be Sripad Bhakti Kamalchad. I mean, that's not so much. There's some library resource somewhere where we can find all of these songs of the Acharjas and writings in one place.
Well, all the books here also, I think that's...
Sorry, what did you say?
All the books we have here. I don't know if we have all of them.
He's thinking of like, because, I mean, really our mood is not so much like that. It's more like what our gurus have selected and given to us. Because Bhakti Yoga Thakur, he wrote many songs, and we're singing just some of them. Also, like Narottam Thakur, we also sing some of his songs, but he wrote many, many other songs. But like what our gurus have like selected as what they feel is appropriate to us. And by our gurus, I mean our Gurudev, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, also Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Mainly as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as he established, like this whole way of practice, like having this like institutionalized form of practice and these like daily programs, and you know this was all started by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's like relatively new thing, like traditionally, like in temples, it would be like, maybe like one or two would be there, or there may be a few, like in India there would be a few special like dedicated monasteries, but otherwise like in the temples it would be like maybe one person there, or even like nobody there, and then there's like families who live around the temple, and then they come and they do puja and they take care of everything there. But this like daily classes and daily this like missionary activities and everyone living in the temple, this is like a kind of a new thing. And our whole culture is based around Sharanagati, this surrender, right? It's a process of self-giving. So our gurus have, that's what our practicing life is based around, that type of ideal. So the songs that we sing, the way they're like songs that are, the songs that we sing, they're songs that are to, help us develop that mood of surrender. And, like, for example, Narottam Thakur, he's written many songs which are for, like, higher layer devotees, describing, higher Leela, Vrindavan, but they're not really suitable for our Adhikar, So, we can put ourselves in, like, a risky position, actually, if we, like, just go, like, in kind of make a scholarly approach to, like, go through all of their songs, and because they've written many different songs which are not appropriate for practitioners of all levels. And and also the mood of approaching in this like scholarly type of mood, it can be a bar, because we can have some like comprehensive like understanding and in our intellect, and of course we need that, but like as much as we need to know, you know what I mean? So I mean, like, for example, someone like Tyagi Maharaj, he has that type of brain, and also that's been given to him as a service, like this type of service of, he's been given many different services where he needs to like reference this and reference that and so on and so forth. So he's developed this type of very comprehensive encyclopedia type understanding, and comprehension of all the different writings, but otherwise, our gurus have like especially selected the songs and the books that they feel are most appropriate for us, and so we're like focusing on that. But certainly, I mean, there's in terms of like Gaudiya Vaishnavism, there's so much, there's many different writers. We're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, but there's many other biographies of Mahaprabhu. But Srila Saraswati Thakur, and then our Guru, then Srila Sridhar Maharaj and our Gurudev, they've like selected what like the best, like Chaitanya Charitamrita is the best. It's like la crème de la crème de la crème. So it's just in a higher layer than other texts you'll find describing the life and teachings of Mahaprabhu. So I mean, if someone wanted to, they could make some exercise and look up all these other different writings, but we've already been given the best thing, so. And same with the songs, There were, so many great Vaishnavas in the time of Mahaprabhu, and many of them left some writings in one form or another, but we've been given like the distilled essence. But if you want to have like more of a clear overview, next time that Tyagi Maharaj is here, you could talk to him.
On the Gaudiya Darshan website also, sometimes it's helpful, because like if you have a doubt or something, you can write the word you're looking for, and then many different things will come up from our books.
Okay.
And And that one has like the main books.
Yeah, no, he's talking about like within the spectrum of Gaudiya Vaishnav writers, you know, like what, like all the writings of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all the writings of Narottam Thakur, and then there's also Lochan Das Thakur, and there's so much, you know. So he's kind of thinking like that, like, but we're like focused on like a particular, like you know, selection of texts. Also, we have Lalita Madhava. He's also very scholarly. He's doing a PhD on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, actually. So he's another person who has this kind of like very broad overview and comprehension of the whole, you know, canon of Gaudiya Vaishnava literature. But I mean, personally, I'm not very interested, you know. I mean, like what our gurus have given us is so sweet, and for me, like I just feel like, you know, Sharanagati, that's the only thing that I need right now, you know. I need to learn how to give myself more, you know. I need to culture more like that very like living, essential, and practical aspect of spiritual life. So I don't feel any interest in like exploring all the other things out there. I just feel it would be like a, you know, mental, intellectual exercise. But like I'm like drowning here, and like don't have time for that, you know. Our Gurudev, he would sometimes compare Sharanagati to swimming, knowing how to swim, you know. Like you need to get from one side of the river to the other side of the river. All that's needed to do that is knowledge of how to swim, right? You don't need to know exactly what's the temperature of the water, or, you know, what degree the sun is, or which way the wind is blowing, or, you know, so on, you know, what is exactly the force of the current, and all these other things, you know, what exactly is the depth, and all this type of, you know, detail. We just need to know, like in a practical way, how to swim. So, you know, we need devotion, we need Krishna, we need Mahaprabhu, and that is our only necessity. And the only thing needed for that is Sharanagati, surrender. So that is our main focus. Okay, so we're going to read a little bit from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Dasavind, is that satisfactory? Okay. Dasavindavanam vande Krishna Dasa Prabhum Tata Janavatar Chaitanya Leela Vistar Karino Dvo Nityananda Prabja Karunarena Bhushito Yatta Chano Burachincho Vavande Vyasarupino Shri Guru Gaur Gandharva Govindascha Ganaisaha Jayanti Patakas Ch.Ch Sarvesham Gurunartina. So Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, they're having this very wonderful exchange. Not necessary, Didi. And so this beautiful Vaishnava exchange, they're, you know, glorifying each other and, you know, diminishing their own selves, and very wonderful exchange. So Mahaprabhu is saying, I'm a Mayavadi. You weren't here, you missed out yesterday. So Mahaprabhu's, but you know Chaitanya Charitamrita, right?
No, I can't say no.
You're being humble. But you remember the meeting between Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai?
I've heard it before.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. And they're just like overwhelmed in their natural love for one another. They're embracing each other, fainting in ecstasy, and then they're glorifying one another and putting their own self down. You know, and so Mahaprabhu is saying, like, you know, Sarvabhauma, he sent me here to be purified by you. You know, I'm just a Mayavadi sannyasi. You know, and Sarvabhauma wanted to help me, and so he told me to come and meet you. You can purify me. And actually, Sarvabhauma was the Mayavadi, right? And then Ramananda is saying, oh, Sarvabhauma is so kind to me, I am like his servant, he knew that your association would be helpful for me, so he asked you to come and see me, please purify my heart, you know. It was very wonderful Vaishnava exchange.
And did Ramananda Roy know right away that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna himself, was the Lord?
Well, I mean, he speaks like that when the thing is, they have their eternal relationship, right? Yeah. Because Ramananda is Vishakha Saki. So they have this eternal relationship, but just in their, but we can understand that's like kind of in the background, right? But there's this, like, he can recognize, he can see Mahaprabhu is not an ordinary, he can recognize right away, and he tells him that, you know, you must be directly the Supreme Lord, you know, because to see Mahaprabhu's potency and his love, and Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu, he's a sannyasi, right? And Ramananda is considered like a Shudra. And he's like a big government man, very absorbed in material affairs, so it's not appropriate for Mahaprabhu to meet closely with someone like that. And we see in other cases Mahaprabhu refuses, like with the king of Puri, right? But Mahaprabhu disregards all of these like social considerations, and he just like runs and they embrace, and then Ramananda's like, this is only possible, this type of mercy is only possible for the Lord, you know? And they're fainting in ecstasy. So he does, you know, have this type of recognition. This must be the Lord himself. And he also says, he has an entourage of 1,000 people with him. and he tells Mahaprabhu, see how powerful you are. By your presence, the hearts of all of these men with me, they're all melting in love just by seeing you. But then Mahaprabhu tells him, oh, it is because you are a Mahabhagavat, you know, you are such a great devotee. Everyone's heart is melting because of you, you know? So very exemplary, beautiful, heart-touching Vaishnava exchange. Okay, so we'll read a little bit. I'll go back a couple verses. Anner ki kattayami mayavadi sannyasi amiho tomar sparshe Krishna preme basi. Although I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, a non-devotee, I am also floating in the ocean of love of Krishna simply by touching you, and what to speak of others. Ejani kattin mor hridoy shodite, Sarvabhauma kohilen tomade milite. Sarvabhauma knew this would happen, and thus to rectify my heart, which is very hard, he asked me to meet you. Emata duhe stuti kore duhar gun, duhe duhar darashane ananditamam. In this way, each of them praised the qualities of the other, and both of them were pleased to see the other. Enokale vaidike Vaishnav Brahman, dandavata kori koilo prabodeni mantram. At this time, a Brahmin Vaishnav, following the Vedic principles, came and offered obeisances. He fell flat before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and invited him for lunch. Nimantran manilo tade Vaishnav janiya, Ramanande kohe Prabhu isha dasya. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the invitation, knowing the Brahmin to be a devotee, and slightly smiling, he spoke as follows to Ramananda Rai. Tomar mukhe Krishna kata shunite hoy man, punarapi paijeno tomar dadashan. I wish to hear from you about Lord Krishna. My mind is inclined to desire this. Therefore, I wish to see you again. So this, as we mentioned before, this is a great mark of, distinction, upon Ramananda Rai, that, normally Mahaprabhu, he's in the position of the instructor, the guru, but he's telling Ramananda, I want to hear from you. You tell me about Krishna. You speak Krishna Katha. From your mouth, I want to hear Krishna Katha. So great importance is given to Ramananda Rai. Rai kohe aila jadi pamar shodite, darshan matra shuddha nahe mor dushta chitte, dim pancha satdohi koroho marjan, tobe shuddha hoy mor he dushtaman. Ramananda Rai replied, My Lord, although you have come to correct me, a fallen soul, my mind is not yet purified simply by seeing you. Please stay for 5 or 7 days and kindly cleanse my polluted mind. After that time, my mind will certainly be pure. So again, this type of exchange. Mahaprabhu was saying, please, I need to hear from you. And Ramananda said, no, I need your association. Jajapi vicheddohar saha na jai, tatapi dandavad kori cholile ramarai. Although neither could tolerate separation from the other, Ramananda Rai nonetheless offered his obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and departed. Prabhu jai se vipragore bhiksha koilo, dui jana utkantai asi sanya hoilo. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the house of the Brahmin who had invited him and took his lunch there. When the evening of that day arrived, both Ramananda Rai and the Lord were eager to meet each other again. Prabhu snan kritya kori achen bosya, ekabritya sangerai minila asya. After finishing his evening bath, Mahaprabhu sat down and waited for Ramananda Rai to come. Then Ramananda Rai, accompanied by one servant, came to meet him. Namaskar koilo Rai, Prabhu koilo alingane, dui jane Krishna kata kaira hastane. Ramananda Rai approached Lord Sri Chaitanya and offered his respectful obeisances, and the Lord embraced him. Then they began to discuss Krishna in a secluded place. And now it starts. Now the Ramananda Samvad really begins. Verse 57. Prabhu kohe padashlok sajya nirnoy, Rai kohe swadharma charane Vishnu bhakti hoy. Mahaprabhu ordered Ramananda Rai, recite a verse from the revealed scriptures concerning the ultimate goal of life. So as we discussed the other day, this is significant. Mahaprabhu is saying, like, tell me what is the goal of life, but he doesn't just leave it at that. He says, give some evidence from the scripture. Not just whatever random idea or feeling or heart inspiration you're having. Not that, but with some verification from the revealed truth, from a reliable source, not just what's in your head. Well, what's in your head is okay if you can back it up with something from scripture. So this is very significant. And then Ramananda Rai responds, if one executes the prescribed duties of his social position, he awakens his original Krishna consciousness, or Vishnu Bhakti, by performing one's swadharma, one's designated position within society. Vishnu Bhakti hoy. Vishnu Bhakti will arise, will awaken. And now we have quotation from the Vishnu Purana. Varna Shrama Charavata Purushena Parapuman Vishnur Rajyate Panta Nanyata Tosha Karanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashram. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must be situated in the institution of the 4 Varnas and Ashrams. So, does Mahaprabhu accept that? No. Prabhu kohe eho baja age kahar. Prabhu kohe eho baja age kahar. Rai kohe Krishna karmarpan sarva sajyasar. So the Lord said, this is external. Tell me something else. Tell me something deeper. Actually, he's not saying this is wrong. He's saying this is like an external conception. Age. Age means like more. Age kahar, like go further. Like tell me I want to hear a deeper conception. This is okay, actually, but it's external. You know? So what we see in this Ramananda Sambad, there's like maybe 4 or 5 different conceptions that Mahaprabhu rejects. And what we see here is that we're moving from like self-centered conception of the Absolute, you know, perceiving the Absolute, the Lord, in relation to our own selves within this world, moving from that to appreciating it as it is, right, on its own terms, you know. Because our problem is that we have this fundamental disease of selfishness, you know. It's interesting, you know, you see this really in children. Like I did a class with some of the children at Green Street on Sunday, and we did an exercise of appreciation. So I was asking them to appreciate, first to appreciate someone who was in the room with us, and then to appreciate someone else, you know, within our community, and why they appreciate them. And so it was very interesting for me that all of the things that they appreciated were things that they did for them. Like, you know, they all chose their mother or their father. Like, you know, they feed me, they clothe me, they you know, make the things that I like, you know. You know, like this type of thing, you know. They help me when I need help, and like their conception of like goodness is how it relates to them, because they're still very young, you know. The concept of appreciating persons, like just like, you know, how they are like in the world or to others, you know, how they're helpful to other people, or what is their contribution to others, you know, what are the good qualities they have in general, like independent of how they affect me, you know. That like it's just not in their minds, you know. They're just young, you know. They're living at the limited sphere, within a limited sphere of understanding. So in the same way, in our approach to religion, you know, very, you know, like persons at a very like basic level, they see religion in terms of how it relates to their own existence within this world, right? And how it affects me in a direct way in this world. And, you know, we identify, I am a member of this world, I'm a man or I'm a woman, and I like to do this or I like to do that, you know. I have this nature, I have that nature. And religion is something that, like, fits in somehow, you know. But as one progresses, you know, just like these children right now, they're seeing their daddy as the person who makes yummy breakfast for them, right? Their daddy's the one who gives me nice presents on Christmas, right? But as they evolve, as they develop, they'll begin to understand who their father is. Like, what do they like to do? What is their life about, you know? You know, not just how they affect me, you know? So in the same way, in our conception of God, in the beginning it's about us, but as we progress, we will begin to understand who God is, like in His own world, and as He likes to be, you know. And it's not that He needs to fit in my world, but I need to fit in His world. I'm like, not that He's a small part of my world, but I'm a small part of His world, you know. So we see this type of development of consciousness, this evolution in these different stages of conception in this discussion. So first, Ramananda, he presents this conception of Varnashram Dharma. And this is like a great like Vedic social system of India. And the way that Srila Sridhar Maharaj explained it, which our Gurudev liked so much, and I heard him repeat it a few times, he like distilled the essence, the essential like purpose and the meaning of this Varnashram system, sympathetic dealings with nature. Sympathetic dealings with nature, meaning that we all have some particular material nature. Jai, Mahaprabhu Jai. We all have some particular material nature, some particular body and some particular nature, right? So, you know, man or woman, will have some particular tendency. So there are these different orders within this system. So on the social side, you have the Brahmin section, who are like the persons who are more spiritually inclined. They're interested in study and this type of thing, scholarship, spiritual life. That's the Brahmin section. Then there's the Kshatriya section, who are the warrior class. They're the rulers, the protectors, the monarchy, the fighters. This is the Kshatriya. And then the Vaishyas, they're like merchants, or farmers. And then the Shudras, they're engaging in more menial services in assistance to the other, more physical, So like that, in this world, we see people have different natures. Unfortunately, the whole Varnashram system, it became totally corrupt and degraded, and it became based on birth. But that wasn't the idea. That's not what's told in the scriptures at all. Krishna directly says that in Bhagavad Gita. So the idea is that persons will be situated in a particular role in society that suits their nature. And so they'll be given according to their nature, they'll be given some particular role and duty which enables them to make a positive contribution to the environment, right? It's like a way of regulating our material nature in a positive way. And so the idea is that they will follow their duties in what's expected of them within this system, and they'll perform those duties in a selfless spirit. And through that mood of, this is karma yoga, what we were discussing about Bhagavad. I don't know if you were there the other day in Bhagavad. This is the principle of karma yoga, right? So the idea is that they'll perform their like designated duties and in a selfless spirit, and through this some purification of consciousness will take place, and by that they'll be enabled to develop further in a more spiritual level. But there's not really consciousness of like a direct connection with the Lord. It's like you're performing these duties like in this like social system, but there's not this consciousness like of everything is really meant to be for the Lord. There's an unconsciousness there. And it's Srila Sridhar Maharaj, there's in, I think, Search for Sri Krishna, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, there's a chapter where he discusses this conversation, and he explains there, this word Vishnu, the meaning of Vishnu is like something like omniscience. So it's referring to this aspect of the Lord, it's like this omniscient, all-pervading being. There's like some lack of a personal connection, personal and direct. So for persons who aren't really interested in a serious spiritual life, for persons who aren't really interested in a direct connection with the Lord, what to speak of devotion, bhakti, then this is very suitable for them. It's just like a way for them to start, But Mahaprabhu, he rejects that. I want something deeper. So, well, should I stop? It's after 8.
Well, I must.
You have to go, I know, yeah.
It's very beautiful.
I feel really sad because I'm going and I won't be here tomorrow to finish.
It's quite a long chapter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's it's just this. No, we can't do it. It's just these few verses which are like the principal section.
Will you be back on Thursday, or will you
I'll be back on Saturday. Yeah, but well maybe so. I'll just the next. So then the next conception. I'll just close with the next. Krishna Karmarpan is the next, right? Where are we? Directly Yeah, so Mahaprabhu says this is external. There's no direct consciousness of a relationship with the Lord here. So then Ramananda says, Krishna karmarpan means offering the results of your activities to Krishna. Sarva sadyasar. Ramananda replied, to offer the results of one's activities to Krishna is the essence of all perfection. Because there's some, that you will do your duty and then you will offer that to the Lord. Like there's some, not that you're just in this abstract way performing your social duty, but you're directly connecting that to the Lord, and there's some consciousness of a relationship, and I'm His servant and this is for Him. And we'll find out later if He accepts that or not. But He doesn't accept it. because that's also not acceptable. I mean, from the standpoint of highest devotion, just to do your duty and then to offer it. Rather, it should be like, let me think about what do you want first. Not like, I want to give you this. Like children, right? They have like their favorite thing, and I'm going to give this to you. Like, maybe they have some little play car, and they think they're being merciful by sharing it with you, right? I'm giving you my best thing, But and we appreciate. Oh, okay, that's sweet, But actually, it's not very useful for us at all. More of if you have more consciousness in the relationship, you'll try to understand what does that person want, and let me give them that. So that's a higher thing. I'm a rock star, so I'm going to make music for Krishna. I'm a cook, and I want to cook for Krishna. Of course, this is good. This is very good, And really, what we find in the way that our temples run is persons will be situated in services that are suitable to them, right? But this is a beginning point, right? A deeper level of surrender will be understanding what is the deepest necessity of service here, and what is really wanted for me, and doing that. It's like top to down, not down to up. So anyway, we'll have some more discussion of that. Will you sing?
Hari Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Madhusudana. Idhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Radhara Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunatha. Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasha Raghunatha. Ch.Ch Gosai Kori Karana Bandar. Jaha hoite Vigna Nasha Vishta Purana. Ch.Ch Gosai Vaishnava Pade Majayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Hari Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Dasha जय सपरिकार श्री गुरु गौरंग राधा गिरिधारी जो की जय जय सपरिकार श्री गुरु गौरंग राधा गोविंद सुंदर जो की जय जय विष्णुपाद शिला भक्ति निर्मलाचार्य महाराज की जय जय विष्णुपाद शिला भक्ति सुंदर गोविंद देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय विष्णुपाद शिला भक्ति रक्षक सिद्धार्थ देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय विष्णुपाद शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय जय श्री गुरु वर्ग की जय रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर सरस्वती गौर भक्त वृंद की जय जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय सुधा भक्ति विघ्न विनाशन सिंह देव की जय श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय गंगा यमुना जी की जय नंदरा श्रीमद भागवतम श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय श्री चैतन्य सरस्वत मात की जय श्री चैतन्य सरस्वत मात लंदन चैप्टर की जय जय श्री धामपुर की जय श्री धामनवदीप की जय वृंदावन पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय बलदेव स्वर्गनाथ जीव की जय समेत वैष्णव मंडल की जय समेत भक्त वृंद की जय हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।